I am not a historian, but neither are you. So, how about we the people learn this stuff together? Welcome to US 101. Yeah, you better put your party hats on, guys, because we are going out today. It's Tuesday today. Not that big a deal, right? I mean, to most Americans around the United States, Tuesday's always been the kind of meh day of the week, so today, not that big a deal. Unless, of course, you're an American down in New Orleans, in which case today is not Tuesday. Today is Mardi Gras! King cakes and beignets being consumed at a rapid rate alongside gallons of alcohol, while crews march down Bourbon Street festooned in feathers and masks. All the while, music is pouring out of every establishment in the city as women bare their mammaries for cheap plastic beads. Oh, and the dancing, it is glorious! That's right, guys. Every single year, thousands upon thousands of people make their way to the Big Easy down south to party for one whole day to get all their sins out of their system. Because the next day marks the beginning of Lent, which means for 40 days you're supposed to give up something that you absolutely love. At least Christians go through this ritual. If you're Jewish, Muslim, or any other faith, you go ahead and keep rocking out as hard as you want. But how did Mardi Gras, aka Fat Tuesday, become such a big deal in the United States? And for that matter, how did New Orleans become home base for America's version of Carnival? And finally, what the f*** is a king cake? Let's find out. The reason Mardi Gras even made it to the United States in the first place is all thanks to our friends, the French. Two men, Pierre Le Moyne d'Iberville and Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne de Bienville, were tasked by King Louis XIV to make their way to North America to defend France's lock on the territory of Louisiana, which today encompasses present-day Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and eastern Texas. And on March 2nd, 1699, d'Iberville led an expedition into the mouth of the Mississippi River and stopped to make camp on the east bank of the river, 60 miles south of New Orleans. And since the next day would be Mardi Gras, d'Iberville and the expedition held a small celebration and named their camp Point du Mardi Gras, or Mardi Gras Point. And then 3 years later, in 1702, Bienville founded the city of Mobile, Alabama, and it became the very first capital of the Louisiana Territory. And then, 1 year later, Mobile would hold the very first official Mardi Gras celebration. So why isn't Mobile, Alabama, home of the OG Mardi Gras celebration, still the place where Mardi Gras happens to this day? Well, that's because in 1723, the capital moved from Mobile to New Orleans. And where goes the capital, so go the festivities. Sorry, Alabama. Now, by the 1730s, Mardi Gras was celebrated openly in NOLA, but not the way that we see it celebrated today. Back then, instead of these huge drunken parades, you just had these more elegant, fashionable high balls that were held by the governor of Louisiana at the time. There weren't really any Mardi Gras parades until the 1830s. In fact, the first recorded Mardi Gras parade took place in 1837, and it featured carriages drawn by horses with horseback riders and flaming torches known as flambeaux. But only 20 years later, in 1857, Fat Tuesday would have its game upped significantly when a group of anonymous people came together to form what is known as the Mystic Crew of Comus. The Mystic Crew introduced floats to the parade, and they also introduced the idea of masked balls. And on top of that, they also added an element of mystery and of magic to the holiday. And since the founding of the Comus Crew, other crews would then go on to be formed to have themselves represented during Mardi Gras celebration. You had crews like the Crew of Rex, the Knights of Momus, and plenty others. And finally, in 1875, the state of Louisiana passed what is known as the Mardi Gras Act, which made Fat Tuesday an official state holiday, and it has continued to grow ever since. Now, even though it seems as if Mardi Gras has been going strong since 1703, there have been a few gaps in the Mardi Gras history. For example, from 1762 up until 1800, the Spanish had control of New Orleans and weren't so keen on all the revelry that was going down in that city, so they cracked down on partying super hard. And then in 1803, when the United States took over via the Louisiana Purchase, they also banned stuff like masked balls and costumes in public. But you cannot keep a good thing down, man. Besides, who could say no to king cake. And by the way, just to let you guys know, king cake is a dessert that's only eaten specifically around the time of Mardi Gras. And if you want to get specific about what king cake actually is, it's actually a brioche dough with cinnamon that is glazed with purple, green, and gold, either icing or sugar on top. Also, there's a small plastic baby that is hidden inside of the king cake, and when you serve it to your guests, whoever has the baby in their slice, it means that, you know, they're supposed to have good luck for the next year. Also, if you have the baby in your slice, you're supposed to buy next year's king cake or very well host next year's Mardi Gras party. And there you have it, guys. Just a brief history of Mardi Gras, which is going on right now in New Orleans, Louisiana. And as they say down there during this time, laissez le bon temps rouler, or let the good times roll. And that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And for those of you that have been subscribing to the channel, thank you so much for your support and for your enthusiasm. This channel continues to grow, and I love responding to all of your comments, man. Keep them coming, man. I love responding to you guys. As always, you can check us out on Facebook and on Twitter, facebook.com/USA History 101. You can follow us on Twitter at USA History 101. And on that note, guys, I'm gonna go celebrate a little bit. So we are all done. And again, laissez le bon temps rouler, man. Let the good times roll. Don't let stuff bog you down. Mellow out a little bit. Relax a little bit. Let me get some of that king cake!